All right, everybody, are you ready? We are going live again with this live stream on COVID and your targeted action. My name is Brian LeGroux, and I welcome you as you are coming into the live stream, or also if you're watching this live stream later on, after you put the kids to bed and that sort of stuff, right? Done the dishes and all that sort of jazz. Anyway, COVID and your targeted action. Let's just start off first and foremost, but I also want to announce that there was one lucky winner from yesterday's live stream that I'm going to be announcing for the $1,000 prize later on at the end of the sequence. At the same time, I'm also going to already prep that as you are getting involved in today's live stream episode, or even after it stopped, as you are commenting and getting involved and asking questions and sharing your thoughts and ideas and the likes on the topic, then you also are entering into the drawing as the second winner of the $1,000 prize. Now, what is the $1,000 prize? It is a personal emotional intelligence assessment along with a personalized debrief that, once again, people pay $1,000 for. I'll give it away to the winner for free. Now, anyway, I'll come back to that one a little bit later because targeted action is one of those key components of emotional intelligence. And before I start touching on that with you here today, again, I welcome you back if this is the first time or the many times that you've already joined earlier. I'm actually going to share a story with you. Who remembers this very person here? You can see Dr. John Demartini. That is his face. That's his name. And you see also here, if I show it a little bit closer, he's actually one of the guys that was featured in the blockbuster movie, The Secret. All right. And so The Secret, this guy here, the story that I'm going to share with you is about him. All right. So just a few weeks back, Dr. John Demartini and me, we caught up over Skype to check in with each other. Now, since over the last few years, I've developed a relationship with him as a friend and also mentor. And obviously, we've done also business with each other because he's been on my stage already twice. In terms of the National Sales Conference, he's presented to some of my best clients in the room, has inspired them, has really added a lot of value to them. But also, he's also been in one of my interviews when he was in Sydney. And so multiple ways, it's many years later now, and we've had dinners and, lunches and drank champagne. At least I did. He was having a glass of water because that's what he drinks. And we were catching up a few weeks ago over Skype. And of course, him being American, guess where he's at, right? He's over there. He's actually pretty much tied to a hotel. And that's really what the story is about. So as I'm touching base with him, we were catching up. And I know that he loves travel greatly. In fact, he even has taken his primarily residence on a ship called the World. It's a cruise ship. It's completely owned 100% by your multimillionaires and billionaires, and it's in private hands. No one really can buy a ticket on it like the normal cruise ships. It is a fully privately owned ship in the hands of the happy few. Well, I've actually been there with him as well, but knowing that that is his home, so I asked him, so where are you now, John? What are you doing? And he told me that because of COVID, of course, everything in the business kind of changed. It's not what it was because he was traveling pretty much 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. And that was pretty much one of the great passions of his. So I wanted to know, what are you doing now? How are you dealing with this? Not being able to be face to face with people, not being able to travel. Those are 2 out of your main 4 values that suddenly have stopped. And so here is the interesting things. So think about all of his events in South Africa, in the US, in Australia, in Europe, all these various places that he travels to all the time, UK, of course. Suddenly, none of those events are happening. Guess what? His answer was striking. He told me that, first of all, the consequences of COVID were not really negative for him. He suddenly started to become very enthusiastic about how he had changed his approach around to really take everything online. And as a result, that he actually has emerged far better than any of the years before. Now, this is interesting. So he had many reasons to be grateful for. Why? Because all the events went online. He reached way more people sharing his message inspiring audiences. And he could all still do that, living a jet set lifestyle. Why? Because all the travel restrictions happened, tourists were pretty much not moving in the US, and he suddenly found a new home in the Westin Hotel in Houston. This is pretty much where he's right now, delivering many programs to the entire world in different time zones out of a hotel room in the Westin in Houston. So really interesting. So that means also that all of his, let's say, the typical basic things that he doesn't want to get his hands dirty with, which is driving, cooking, shopping, and all this sort of stuff, is all again taken care of, as it was on his primarily residence, this cruise ship called The World. So all of the desires are attended to daily, which is great. Third thing, he spoke and inspired more people than any year before, taking things online, which I already said. But here's also now the kicker. He's improved his net worth, he shared with me. I won't say the numbers exactly, but I will say the percentages at least, by 40%, by making more sales online and by investing wisely in the stock market. So his net worth has increased by 40% in 1 year. Now, just imagine now, think about this. There's a lot of reasons to be grateful for. Would you agree? Right? So here's now the important thing about it, right? 3 lessons that I want to share with you. And again, guys, get involved. Share your thoughts and questions in the chat box, because as you are doing this, it will help you to go into the draw and join one lucky winner from yesterday's episode tomorrow. I will announce the new winner then in tomorrow's episode. All right, so 3 lessons that I wanted to share about Dr. John Demartini. First things first, he's a highly motivated but also disciplined individual. For someone in his late 60s, I am amazed to see, for example, how flexible he is in terms of his body. Like, he just can do like a karate kick at somebody's level at this high with his legs without really being sore or kind of really hurting himself in any way. So for someone in his late 60s, that's pretty cool. At the same time, he's also so disciplined to always give above and beyond, and not just do it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days a week. I've seen him year in, year out, week in, week out, travel and present and speak and do interviews and all these sort of things about inspiring and communicating to people 7 days a week, pretty much every week, without needing a holiday. So if you just consider that, that means that this person is hyper disciplined and is taking massive targeted action, which is the topic again of today's episode. So targeted action. He engages in very few activities. As I said, cooking, cleaning, and driving cars and all these sort of things, he hasn't done for more than 20 years. It's always somebody else that has done it for him. And that's how he chooses to lead his life, to focus on what matters and outsource and delegate everything else, right? It's just his philosophy, and he also takes the actions consistent with it. So now he's 100% aligned with his vision and purpose. And so he focuses on his values and makes his values really the number one. So he basically travels, at least before COVID he was. He's definitely researching a lot. He's inspiring a lot of people. And then there's one other thing that he was doing. Oh, writing, of course. He's an author of many books. And definitely this one I recommend to everyone. It's one of my favorites and has been on my top 3 pretty much for the last 10 years. Anyway, so that was number 1. The second lesson now here is that he saw COVID, and I quote his words now, he saw COVID being on the way, not in the way. Now just think about the little play of words here, being on the way or in the way. We spoke yesterday about how our perception is king. And just what does it mean? If you see things being on the way, it means that it's just part of your journey. It's just you got a far greater goal and achievement and a destination that you want to reach. And whatever comes along is just part of the journey. Brian Tracy, one of my other mentors, says success is a journey. And I love how Dr. John Demartini just really talks about this stuff as in, it's not a problem. Don't focus on the thing there that is in your way. No, it's not in the way, it's on the way. It's just one thing that you have to deal with in order to get to the thing that is really important to you. It's on the way, not in the way. That is number 2. The last one that I personally wanted to share, and I'm very keen also to hear more from you, the last lesson that I wanted to share with you is that he's taking massive targeted action on a daily basis, even in his late 60s. The time when most Australians and even Europeans and Americans just want to knock off. They want to retire early. They want to do nothing. They want to go play golf and fishing and all this sort of stuff. This is now a man here who's just doing day in, day out, 7 days a week, 52 weeks in a row every year. He's doing what he loves doing, and he never needs a holiday away from it. In fact, he just made travel part of the regular deal prior to COVID, of course. And so I love this highly targeted action. Now, I'm going to reflect on a few things here with you. Here, this is again my personal copy here of my emotional intelligence assessment. I've done it for the second time around. I figured with COVID stuff, I want to see, where am I at? Because I figured that what you measure, you can improve. What you measure, you can expose. If there's something that really is hurting you in some shape or form, if you measure it and you benchmark yourself, you know how to improve things for the better, how to change things for the better, because otherwise you just don't know. And what you don't know really hurts, right? And so I figured I'm just going to see, are my scores still the same? Have they increased? Have they gone back maybe in some areas? And guess what? In terms of self-management is one of the 4 main components, and it then has 5 subcategories, one of which is, for example, targeted action. Guess what? Most of my scores are very similar to, let's say, 2 years ago. But since COVID, my targeted actions, contrary to Dr. John DeMartini, I've actually slacked off. And my scores have dropped significantly. In fact, I'll just show you here. It's over here. It's only 70%, which is, let's say, far below my other scores here, which are all in the high quadrants, benchmarked with other people. All of my other 5 subcategories, they're all in the high. Some of them are even 100%, so they're very high. But this goal-directed performance and targeted action is 70%. So I'm only really in the medium class there right now, whilst before I was in a higher class. So that means a lot to me. I now know what my Achilles heel has been. And so having done this towards the end of 2020, going into a new year, I now know what to focus on, what to direct more attention and energy to, which is targeted action. And this might be the same for you. But the thing is, you sometimes really need to measure things. Now, just so that you know, what other scores here do you have in terms of your self-management? What is other part of it? Self-control and discipline is another one. A third one is integrity and trustworthiness. A 4th one is motivation and positive psychology. Spoke about that one yesterday. And the last one is creativity, agility, and flexibility. So all these various subcategories you can measure and visualize for yourself so that you know, are you, let's say, with most of the other people, how are you comparing? Are you in the lower quadrant? Are you in the middle quadrant? Are you in the top echelons of society? That way, you know where your chain is the strongest and the weakest. And of course, the weakest links are the very delicate ones. Those are the dangerous ones, because whilst all of the others are playing in your favor, the areas that are dropping back are actually keeping yourself small. They are self-sabotaging you. They are undermining your performance. And that's, of course, what you want to do something about. Again, I use this as I do with my clients, because I know that this really helps them to stay true to their purpose and take targeted action in a meaningful way so that they help to achieve their goals faster. Now, that's pretty much it. Me reflecting my scores here first. So far, I'd love to hear, what have you taken out of this? Let me know in the chat box. And as you are commenting and also potentially asking a question, if that's what you want to do, you are entering into the draw for the prize, which is one of these assessments, which, they have a prize normally. I'll give it to a winner for free, along with a personal coaching session that allows us to really apply it to your situation and figure out how you will be getting there, knowing yourself using this tool. It's invaluable, right? I swear by it. All right, let's have a look here. Where are we now? I'm going to keep an eye out also on the chat box, but time is running out. So I might have to also come back to you later on once this session finishes. But yes, I'm actually now, before I go to the summary, draw today's lucky winner, which is a very humble, yet very humble man. I won't say his name yet, but who I have known for many years. I have seen him really grow. And as he personally grew, I have seen his business and businesses grow. And recently he's taken on the next plunge in his professional career, which I'm very, very happy for him. Because this guy has got the right heart, the heart in the right place. He's very, very much a guy of integrity, a lot of passion, loves people, and loves to contribute and make a difference. And so I'm very happy to be able to say that, yes, Tim Allen, you are the lucky winner of the $1,000 prize, the first one. Congratulations. I'll make sure that you'll get the notification in a moment. Congratulations. Secondly, for those people that have missed out so far, know that still today, you can still comment. And in tomorrow's episode, towards the end, I will again, there you go, that is Tim. Yes, good to see that you're back. Well done. I'll organize the assessment and the personal debrief then with you, the coaching session, as soon as we're pretty much tomorrow are back on deck. So, but you already know I'm accountable now to you. And yeah, for anybody that is now still commenting on today's live stream, either during or after this episode, and also in tomorrow ones, at the end of tomorrow's session, I'll draw a second prize winner for the same $1,000 prize. Guys, just get actively involved. Put yourself out there. Be humble. Be willing to learn. And as you do, as you're willing to share, guess what? You get rewarded, because life rewards action. And many people that have come to my events might have seen these banners that say exactly that. Life rewards action. Start today. Very important. Now, just as a summary, you don't need to get busier with all sorts of things. I see so many people just chasing their tail like chickens without a head. Now, is that the answer? If that's what you've done last year, it's probably a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for guaranteed stress. I personally don't live by that. In fact, if I can work my days in such a way that I have time to do what I love doing in the morning, do some work and make a difference, then have some time, for example, to spend with my wife or son, as I did, yesterday and this morning. Well, and then do a little bit of work again, and then again, have some time off for either self or the family or friends or whatever. That's really how we can really be focused with targeted action, give ourselves massively in the moment, whilst then later on, we can focus on something else that is equally important, just in a different field of life or business. And so that's definitely what I preach. So it's not about getting busier, being busy. It's about, the difference is really about doing a few valuable things really well, as this man here does well. He does 4 things. He travels, he writes, he researches, and he speaks in front of audiences. Those are his 4 main values, and his entire life exemplifies that. I find it so inspiring because I don't know anyone who's gotten so crystal clear about the 4 things that he is really passionate about, and then everything he does is in line with it. All the rest is handballed over to other people whose passion is to take care of all the other things, which is digital marketing, which is cooking, which is cleaning, which is doing dishes, which is go shopping, all of this sort of stuff. He just handballs to other people. It's so cool. Driving cars and so on. So anyway, let me see what else I have on my notes here, just to make sure that we covered it all off. So the difference lies in doing a few valuable things really well and doing them consistently, right? Targeted action massively. Tony Robbins says to say, once you know what you want, take massive action, right? But this action is targeted. Measure and enhance your self-management. Dr. John Demartini and I are on it too. That's pretty much my little close for today. But again, everybody, thanks for joining. Thanks for getting actively involved. Tim, hooray, hooray. Well done again to you. And we'll soon organize that emotional intelligence assessment for you, along with your personalized coaching session. And once again, tomorrow I'll be back, 7:30 p.m. Adelaide time. that is whatever in your time zone. Look forward to seeing you then, and there will be one more lucky prize winner based on comments in the comment section on this episode and tomorrow. Have a good night, have a good morning if that's your time zone, have a good afternoon, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. My name is Bram. Cheers, bye-bye.